Know who these entities are and always be aware of it. Dark entities like Greys, reptilians, devils, mantids, and dark Nordics are liars and deceivers. It is not just something they do regularly, it is who they are, it is their nature, they live it, they breathe lies and deceptions. No matter how polite, charming, humorous or benevolent they may appear, behind their mask they are thoroughly malicious and full of contempt and hatred, but at the same time they are extremely deceptive and hell-bent on hiding their true nature. They are not your friends. They are not beneficial to you. Their presence in your life, in whatever form, is never objectively good, that much is absolutely certain. This seems obvious, but it needs to be mentioned because those under the influence of entities are often unaware of this obviousness. See Veman and Eddie, who got groomed by Venom into thinking the attachment was desirable, while it was actually killing Eddie. Unless he murders people to eat them. This accurately describes reality. They are parasites, and since parasites depend on their parasitic connection with their host, they try to not be detected, or if they are detected, they try to convince the host that their presence, the attachment, would be beneficial to the host. Therefore, they always lie and deceive and twist the truth in every way. They are notorious opportunistic deceivers. Always cheating and bluffing. If they ever tell the truth, it is only to build trust so that you will believe an even bigger lie down the road. Nothing they say should be believed under any circumstance. They use a variety of concepts to deceive. Some of the most common are alleged soul contracts. How convenient that this cannot be confirmed by the person they are targeting. Agreements with the higher self. Also cannot be confirmed. Promises from past lives. Also cannot be confirmed. These are common buzzword-based scams where they trick you into submitting with dubious claims of an unproven legal entitlement. They build hints into their fake stories to reveal when they are lying. This is a metaphysical obligation. They have to respect free will. That is why it is important to always examine situations for these hints in the form of ironic elements, logical inconsistencies, word plays, etc. The point of these hints is that if someone is too mindless, gullible and ignorant, they may continue with the deception. If there were really such a thing as soul contracts or past life agreements, then irrefutable evidence could be presented. Soul memories of such an event could be reactivated so that one would not have to rely on the word of some dubious gray or reptilian alien known to be pathological liars, claiming that one is compelled to engage in sadistic activities because one made an agreement a few incarnations early, relying on their word. This is ridiculous. They use bluffs to get what they want from you. This includes serious bluffs where they threaten to hurt you if you do not do what they want, or if you do not stop doing what they do not want you to do. While bluffing you, they will use escalating fear tactics to try to create a reality in your mind to make you believe that they could harm you, to manipulate you into creating a self-fulfilling prophecy against yourself. These entities are cold-blooded psychopaths, child torturers and mass murderer with a machine-like relentlessness. If they want to do something and are able to do something, they don't waste time waiting or explaining or bargaining or deceiving, they just do it. So when they justify or ask permission, when they sneak around and tell weird stories, or when they provoke and harass in intolerable ways, it is because they are in a gray area where they are permitted to deceive and pressure but cannot directly do anything drastic. When their advances are repeatedly rejected, they eventually have to back down. If they are unable to directly exert control over you through a signed contract or other form of permission, they must first establish an energetic resonance with you before they can physically harm you. If they do not receive your permission and cannot establish an energetic resonance with you, they cannot physically harm you. They do not choose not to, they do not forget about it, they cannot do it, therefore, they use various forms of emotional manipulation, social schemes, psychological warfare and energetic attacks to establish the necessary resonance. Therefore, it is important to stop or prevent any form of resonance with them. These entities are very capable of frequency manipulation. They can induce addictive behaviors, stimulate friendship, very intense sexual sensations, strong hatred, all with the purpose of gaining attention and securing the desire for further involvement in their victims. There are methods to dampen their influence, and with increasing strength and ability they can be increasingly resisted. But there is no equivalent substitute for total abstinence from them and their machinations. If for some reason you have ended up in the dark lands of Mordor, don't venture deeper, do not stay where you are, do not fight, do not hide, do not dig in. But focus on the bright North Star you see above and march out in a straight line without reacting to any provocations from the monsters around you. Just keep walking and eventually you will get out. The 10 methods. The following methods work. They have been repeatedly applied successfully in conflicts with dark entities and have proven themselves under adverse circumstances. They provide you with a very good foundation in any situation, even if your particular circumstances are unique. The principles behind the methods are universal and will always apply. The more that are combined, the better. Although they are certain to work, it takes effort and perseverance. 1. Brushing hair. 3 minutes, morning and evening and when attacked by entities. Hair acts as interdimensional antennas and thus are entry ports to other dimensions through which dark entities could travel and get stuck in your hair where they remain and negatively affect one. This is the reason why in natural tribes everyone has long hair in order to channel spiritually. That is also why in the military the first thing they do is shave off the hair to cut off the spiritual connection and thus increase obedience and willingness to commit atrocities. And this is also the reason why one can often see small, strange entity faces in people's hair on videos. Brushing the hair clears out the entities, which results in immediate relief of the oppression symptoms caused by the entities. 2. Ice-cold shower. 5 minutes. In the morning and in the evening and when attacked by entities. Witches cannot cross running water, as the saying goes. The fact is that entity attachments are greatly weakened by cold showers and it cleanses the aura of all forms of dark etheric impurities that enable or encourage attachments. Cold water over the head also immediately blocks telepathic intrusions. Attachments often happen overnight. So cold showers in the morning are most important. At night to remove any impurities that were caught during the day. 3. Scents. A. Perfume. Spray on the shoulders, crotch and buttocks area, which will burn for a few seconds because of the alcohol. And on the feet. Preferably an intense fruity, floral, exotic scent. Entities use the lower chakras, especially the root chakra, to access the body's electromagnetic system. They also penetrate through the chakras on the sole of the foot. They often settle in the shoulder area as well. It must be a perfume, not just a deodorant spray, because that is not effective. Perfume has the highest concentration of fragrance oil and is therefore the most intense scent, which also has a long shelf life on the skin, while eau de parfum, eau de toilette, eau de cologne are all less intense and evaporate more quickly. Perfume is to dark entities what rotting cadaver is to us. An unbearable stench they do not want to smell, nor do they want it on their claws or tendrils when they put in a chakra or wrap it around your neck. Always apply perfume as described before going to bed, this will keep the energy parasites at bay. This may also cause physical ailments to suddenly disappear or diminish, as these entities act on the body's nervous system to cause or increase pain. B. Incense. With white sage. For example, it works, but it is not as effective as perfume because the scent potency is much lower. For incense to really work, you need to smoke a room intensely, the more effective. 4. Body movement and exercise. These entities are not 100% non-physical. Or rather, in order to affect someone who is physical or more physical than they are, they must also become more physical. Actually, there is no physicality, there are more or less dense wave fields that can interact with each other through frequency calibration/alignment. Think of it this way. A non-physical ghost cannot normally move physical objects or people because the ghost and the physical object or person are in different realities or frequency bands. So, in order for the ghost to move an object or touch a person, it must move closer to the frequency band of the material reality, it must become more physical or dense. The entities that plug into the chakra system have to reduce their density in order to do that. They are no longer completely non-physical, they are about 95% non-physical and 5% physical. And that 5% physical connection. Crossing point. Friction area between entity and a person's body can be affected by physical means such as stretching, exercising, etc., and the entity can be affected by clapping above, behind, and to the left and right of the head, because that is where they usually manifest. A. Movements. Shaking like a head-banging wet dog. This helps to shake out of a cocoon spun by the dark, spider-like entities. Extending the spine is especially important, as that is where the entities attach themselves. Quickly spinning around one's axis is an ancient meditation technique. Jumping frees one from dark energy spider webs and also releases endorphins. B. Exercises with heavy weights. They are the most effective physical exercises. Deadlifts and hip thrusts are best because they train the lower and upper back, where the entities also attach. 5. Meditation. Breathing, energy work, and meditation. Sit down and quiet your mind, let all thoughts pass by like clouds. Start with 1 minute. Every day for 21 days, at least 1 minute to develop a habit. You can also meditate for 1 hour, the more the better, but at least 1 minute daily. Getting into the state of meditation immediately raises your vibration, bringing you out of the inter-reality bubble that the dark forces around you are trying to build to influence you. One goal of meditation is to examine every thought, every conviction. Is this nervousness? This irritation my own, or is it of foreign origin? Foreign constructs must be identified, discharged of their energy and dispelled. B. Breathing, it oxygenates the body, removes the toxins from it, energizes it, and also nourishes it with prana in the air. The more intensely you breathe, the less entities will affect you. The more, the better. One effective technique is Wim Hof breathing. C. Energy work, this includes among other things, the accumulation and channeling of energy through the body. The control of and energetic interaction between the chakras. One goal is to identify and distance oneself from foreign energy in order to stop their influence. Is this emotion? Energy in motion, itching, tingling, caused by natural physiological process or external stimuli, or it caused by outside forces? It is a matter of identifying, isolating, evading and repelling outside forces and their effects. 6. Changing the environment and perspective. A. Open all the windows in your living area to ventilate the room, turn on a fan. This not only clears the air in the room but also dissolves energetic constructions/infrastructures created by the entities. B. Remove clutter because chaotic arrangements. Boxes, cans, piles of laundry, book staples. Help entities manifest more easily and stay in a space. C. Cleanliness is very important. These entities resonate with dirty, unsanitary, dusty places. Old clothes, dirty dishes, empty beverage cans, food scraps, withered plants, mold, should be thoroughly cleaned up. D. Pleasant atmosphere. Indoor fountains, salt crystal lamps. Traditional filament lamps instead of LED lamps, room fragrance dispensers, indoor plants, flowers in vase, mood-enhancing decoration. E. Rearrange your furniture. This breaks up established dark energetic patterns/infrastructures. For this reason, children instinctively rearrange their environment on a regular basis. They are trying to break free from the invisible energetic spider webs that are restricting them. F. Change your body position. Handstand, kneel, stand on a ladder, lie on your bed and turn your head down. Physically change perspective to psychological break out of entity-imposed corrupt perspectives. Something as simple as kneeling or standing on a ladder for a while can free you from a black cocoon of twisted ideas that entities have imposed on you. They rely on their targets to remain still. Very immobile and stiff as they operate from outside this dimension and have difficulties to adapt. These are small measures with great effect. 7. Dietary regiment. A. The big no-nos, no sugar. Interdimensional roaches want sugar. And then more sugar. Because the other parasites are connected to the inner parasites in the digestive tract. The more numerous and stronger the internal parasites are, the stronger the resonance the parasite host has with the external entity parasites. Parasites are the demonic kingdom within. Sugar is also a neurotoxin that weakens the aura. That is why the entity-controlled industry mixes sugar into all foods. No alcohol. Alcohol is a neurotoxin that also weakens the aura. Alcohol is also called spirits. For good reason. Because alcohol consumption creates a strong resonance with dark entities. No amphetamines. Meth is known as the reptilian drug. Users go into very strong resonance with dark entities like reptilians. Bath salts are even more dangerous in this regard. No hallucinogens. Drugs can open portals in the mind to other dimensions. They thin the veil and make the user more susceptible to influences from the dark astral dimension, which is very close to the earth realm. This is also true of marijuana, especially the modern highly potent breeds. B. Anti-parasitic treatment. Black seed oil. A medium-strength anti-parasitic. It also reduces inflammation in the body and reduces the amount of anxiety-inducing neurotransmitters in the brain and increases the levels of serotonin, the happiness hormone. This counteracts depression caused by entities. 2 to 3 teaspoons daily. Turpentine Pure Gum Parasitic Cleanse by Dr. Daniels. The most effective anti-parasitic. It requires turpentine 100% pure gum, a binder that quickly bundles the toxins released by dead parasites. Herxheimer reaction. And a laxative to quickly remove the toxins and optimally an enema aid such as a bellows to optimize the removal following an enema. Per serving, 1 teaspoon of turpentine drizzled over 3 stacked sugar cubes, then chew and swallow. Once every 2 to 3 days. C. Dry fasting. Immediate vibratory benefit. This is the overall fastest and most effective method when bothered by entities. As it immediately raises one's vibrations very high or avoids a tremendous drop in frequency due to ingestion of low vibrational foods and a very energy-consuming digestive process. Dry fasting can be trained. It is safe to start with 48 hours, then again and again in 3 days. To break through the psychological barrier of 3 days. There are people who dry fast for 8, 12, or even 20 days. This requires training. D. Fruitarianism. This is the only diet pure enough. Apart from dry fasting. To almost completely prevent attachments and attacks from entities. Because the vibration is very high on this diet. It requires constant physical and mental purification efforts and simply training to eat only fruits. A fruit diet should be supplemented by breatharianism. Intense breathing with the intention of feeding on prana on the air. E. Breatharianism. Initially, most are unable to feed on the prana energy in the air alone, but one can begin to supplement a fruitarian diet and others with it, for example, using the Wim Hof breathing technique 10 times a day, for additional energy. 8. Thought Screen Helmet. Made from 12 sheets of Velostat 1706 anti-static foil and aviator hood. www.stopabductions.com. Putting on the helmet will greatly reduce telepathic influence, this has been proven many times. It is also important to learn the difference between being under telepathic influence and being sober, which is very hard to tell because it is very subtle. However, the helmet does not protect against psychic influence through wave field entanglement. Which means that the entity manifests right next to you, with its energy field affecting yours. But loud noises can help against it. 9. Loud noise. These entities are sensitive to sound vibrations, especially to the frequency of 4000 to 6000 Hz. You can use the VLC player to turn the volume up too high. They can also be repelled or weakened by strong mental yelling directed at them. A simple, "get lost," with righteous anger will do. Don't insult, because that creates resonance. Clapping combines loud noise and sound waves. The pain threshold is 120 to 140 decibels. Clapping your hands causes this from a meter away. This is a simple and very effective measure against entities. 10. Love vibration. Dark entities cannot stand positive frequencies because they are of extremely low frequency. High frequencies literally cause them pain and repel them. It is difficult to mobilize even very high frequencies, considering how negative this world is and how low the energy of most is. An easy way is to surround yourself with children whose energy is very high and pure compared to most adults. A visit to a children's play park or a large playground is a good place for this purpose. A dark entity attachment will have a very hard time holding on in such environment. And there is a very good chance that it will lose its grip and even detach completely. It is typical when among children that one becomes weaker and even almost faints when an entity is attached, as the entity draws energy in order to compensate. The entity may also try to cause conflict in order to cause a quick exit from the location. In the long run, training the heart center, the heart chakra, is very important. Those who struggle to emerge from a state of negativity can start by focusing on valued simple things. Chocolate, flowers, nature, tools. And isolating the feeling of that appreciation, imagining an ever-increasing heightening of that appreciation as one engages the heart in the process. Complex concepts provide a large attack surface and are therefore more susceptible to corruption by twisted logic and black philosophies of dark entities, so it is effective to keep one's spiritual position simple.